I'm Bill Catterite, President of the National Retiree Legislative Network, the Nrln, here to present a special report. Next week, leaders from the Nrln associations and chapters meet and then lobby Washington, D.C. politicians on the subject of retiree prescription drug pricing, pension plan de-risking, mergers and acquisitions, recoupment, and life insurance protection. Today, I'm going to speak out about Medicare privatization that we believe has become a bait-and-switch failure. This is a serious issue that has or will affect all retirees, their families, and friends. Nowhere is this more obvious than in large retirement communities like the Villages, Florida. Chapter leaders Jim Bodner and Ray Pasternak will be in Washington, D.C. next week to address this issue with senators and their congressmen. Current and past Congresses and administrations have known the Medicare funding crisis was coming, but did not focus on cost reduction prescription drugs, Medicare equipment, and services purchased from hospitals, doctors, and others. Instead, they used rebates, the bait, to subsidize insurance company benefits that tempt those turning age 65 and current Medicare enrollees to buy Medicare Advantage plans, knowing that eventually all costs will have to be absorbed by these new plans, thus switching costs off the federal budget to those over age 65. That's the switch. This table shows that after begging insurance companies for 20 years, over 20 years, from 1997, that 4 presidents and 23 years later, rebates are $38 billion a year, or 13% of the dollars paid to Medicare Advantage plans. These data show large increases in Medicare payments per enrollee from 2018 to 2028, despite 13% in rebates and focus on wellness. The 2028 projection is that Medicare payments per enrollee be higher for Medicare Advantage plans than for fee-for-service, and overall will be $643 a month higher than recorded in 2018. That's a major change. This table reveals that Congress funded 19 new benefits for MA plan enrollees in 2020. If you have asthma, you can get your furnace filters changed and carpets cleaned, but only if you are in a Medicare Advantage plan. Congress played God. They chose the haves, 1/3 younger enrollees, in the column showing the black X's, and the have-nots, the older, or 2/3, in the column with red X's. A February 5, 2020 letter signed by 338 members of Congress from both parties urged the CMS administrator to add more benefits to MA plans in 2021. This is a discrimination and steps outside the reality that Medicare C is Medicare, managed by private insurers and funded by CMS, but using our tax dollars. Rebates are sucking the life out of the Medicare Part A trust and Part B and D trust. Worse, our federal income tax payments fund 72% of Medicare B and D benefits. Our tax dollars become rebates used to fund benefits that can't be accessed by 40 million people, 70% of those in Medicare. Tax dollars also fund insurance company overhead and profit. Denial of new benefits to original Medicare participants is a benefit cut, is immoral, unethical, and discriminatory. The Better Medicare Alliance, or BMA, an MA plan insurance lobby, refers to 361 members of Congress as their congressional champions. Their pictures are plastered on the BMA website, and for all we know, BMA may have written the letter asking for these new benefits that these champions signed. But what we do know is that our president promised no benefit cuts. This 2019 MedPAC chart estimates that in 2020, rebates per enrollee will be $122 a month per enrollee, 50% of 2016, up from 2016 levels of $81. And as mentioned, will cost $38 billion, 13% of MA plan projected 2020 benefits. This Medicare Trustees data table discloses that 2018 expenditures per Medicare Advantage plan enrollee were higher than original fee-for-service enrollees by 3%. Part B paid per enrollee was 16% higher than fee-for-services. This is horrible performance and a critical tell. The tell is that MA plan Part B costs are out of control. These trustees say Medicare Advantage insurers use rebates to cherry-pick younger enrollees who spend fewer days in hospitals and thus are able to score 10% lower than fee-for-service for Part A. Without cherry-picking, though, Part A retirees at 303% score would have been much higher. Trustees are warn us that Medicare Advantage enrollee costs would be sharply up if seniors switched into or as they age within MA plans. So in summary, after 4 presidents and 23 years of subsidies, Medicare Advantage plans have failed to match fee-for-service Medicare costs. Insurance companies must learn to compete the American way, win without rebates. Please sign up at www.nrln. Help us tell Congress to grandfather all President Medicare Advantage enrollees and no longer award these phony benefits, or make all subsidized benefits available to Medicare beneficiaries, all of them. After all, if benefits will control costs and help people live longer, why offer them to just 20 million when you could save cost and help all 60 million? Thank you very much, and you'll hear from us after our conference in Washington, D.C.